Hey, welcome back to Eepa's Kitchen. Today we're going to make our Sriracha sauce. This is a pretty simple recipe, but it's a 7-day process because once you get everything together, it has to ferment for 7 days. But the process itself is easy. We've got a little less than 2 pounds of red jalapeños. So we leave these on the vine until they get nice and red. You can use, I've got some sport peppers out. You can use those. You can use a couple of Thai chili peppers to speed up the heat a little bit. But for the most part, this is mostly jalapeno. There are some sport peppers in there. And then the spices are 3 cloves of garlic. There's 2 tablespoons of garlic powder and 2 tablespoons of sugar, white sugar. We've got 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and a tablespoon of kosher salt. Once we're all done and we've finished the sauce, we can adjust the spices, add more seasoning if we want, but that's how it starts out. So the simple process is we're going to put all this into here. We're going to blend it into just a pulp. We're going to put it in this jar. I'm going to put it in the corner on the counter, and every day when I get up, I'm going to give it a stir. And at the end of 7 days, we'll finish the process with some vinegar and a little bit of water and mashing out the pulp into our Sriracha sauce. All right, so we'll get started. So we got it on high, and you can see the volume has shrunk. I don't see any big chunks of the garlic anymore, so I think we're about ready to go. And it's pretty well pureed and pasted. Take the top off and we'll give it a look. I'm just going to throw that at Derek because, he was in my way. Looks pretty good. You kind of see how it's just a little paste. All right, what we'll do is we'll take this off. We're going to add it to our really large jar. The jar is bigger than we need, but what it's going to do, it's going to allow me space to stir it. Lay it out and see if we get the rest of it. Try and get as much as you can. You don't want to waste all this good stuff. Yeah, you did pretty good there. So what's going to happen is that's going to ferment over the course of the next week. It's going to sit on the counter. You'll see it bubble a little bit every once in a while. You'll see it kind of get fizzy maybe. It's more than a bubbling thing. And then what I'll do is we'll try and update every day on the video, since Derek's not going to come over every morning with me and do it. Try to remember to update a little video of it every day where we just give it a quick stir so you can kind of see the progress. And then in a week, we'll get together. We'll put it on the stove for a little bit, and we'll squeeze it out, and we will have some delicious Sriracha sauce, suitable for all your spicy dishes. All right, so on that note, we're going to cut it here, and we'll be back on a daily basis. All right, welcome to day 8. So we got our 7 days of stirring. Our stuff really turned out nice. You can see the difference between day 1 and today, which is actually day 8. We didn't get to finish it on day 7. See how much runnier it is. When we first put it in, it was just like a big pulp. So what we're going to do today's real simple. We're going to take this, put it in our pan, add a half a cup of distilled white vinegar. We're going to simmer it for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to chill it down. Once it's completely chilled, then we'll run it through a really thin mesh strainer, and we'll get the sauce out, and then we'll get rid of the pulp. So we'll have some nice sauce to put on our food. So let's get started with that. We're just going to go ahead and pour it in. I'm going to try not to spill it or inhale it, because every day when we did our stirring, one of us would be sneezing afterwards from inhaling it. All right. I'm just going to pour the vinegar in. Nothing to it. Put it on the stove over a medium flame. I'll just give it a quick stir to get the vinegar in. And then we're just going to let it simmer. Once it comes to a simmer, we'll let it go for about 5 minutes. Once that's done, it goes in the fridge till it's chilled. And then once it's chilled, we'll go ahead and finish it up. Bottle it to get ready to eat. So I'm going to put the lid on it so it heats up quicker. Come back in a sec. So it's simmering along. It's been going pretty close to 5 minutes now. So I cut the flame back just a little bit because it was starting to get to be too much. I'm just going to stir this. See if it comes back up again. And once it comes back up to a simmer one more time, I'm going to cut it off and we're going to stick it in the fridge. Yeah, see how it's starting to come back up again? I'm looking at the clock. We are definitely at our 5-minute mark. It really has a great aroma. All right, I'm going to cut it off, stir it up. We're going to put it in the fridge to cool down. It's got to cool completely. So I'm going to let you guys have the rest of the afternoon off while that cools down. We'll come back in a little bit and we'll squish it into a jar. All right, your break's over. Took it out of the fridge. It's chilled down. It's nice and loose, so that we can start squeezing it through. Generally, the process takes a couple of times. What I'll do is I'll squeeze the pulp, for lack of a better term. I'll squeeze it through. I'll put it in this empty bowl I had over here, and then I'll squeeze it through again just to see if I can get more out of it. So if you look, that first little bit, that's coming through real nice. We're getting a lot of sauce there, but you don't want to waste any of it. We didn't really work that hard to make this, but then you grew the peppers, you cut them up, you put them in your food processor, you added all your little ingredients. You waited 8 days on the counter to try and get it fermented. Why waste anything? You know what I'm saying? So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through this. You guys aren't going to watch the whole thing because you'll be bored, but I'll go through this a couple of times just to see if I can get more sauce out of it. And then we'll taste it just to make sure it doesn't need any adjustments. You can always add a little bit of garlic or salt or what have you, if the flavor isn't where you want it to be. The last batch we made, the stuff that we use all the time, I made 0 adjustments to. I don't know if it was just a fluke. It worked out great, but it went through the family. Derek has some, Matt has some, Giselle has some. Actually, this batch is going out to Giselle because she loves it. So make sure it's right for her. But you can see, I don't know if Derek can get a close up of that. Kind of nice color to it. And that can sit in your fridge for a long time. But the vinegar kind of has that natural preservative to it. But it can be messy. So no white chef's coat today. I don't know how much you want to do with this.
I'm just going to get some random B-roll.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up now because I got nothing to say.
That's cool.
Can you even put that in?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to shut up now. I got nothing to say.
I got no.
Yeah. Just scraping stuff around the screen. All right, so went through it one time. This is the second time through. And we're still getting, you can see, whole reason not to get rid of it is to run it through. So what I'll do is I'll run this through so we slow down that dripping. And what I'll probably do is put it back in the bowl. And just add a little bit and see if we can't get some more out. But right now we're getting so much out, I don't want to change it. But I like this little spatula you guys see me use all the time. It works real well. I mean, any spatula will work. But as long as it's stiff enough where you can kind of press against the side of your little sifter. I think this might be our last one. Might just call it quits after this. I think we did pretty good. What do you think, Jack? Look at that. One more. So what we'll do is I got to get a jar. We won't do it tonight on the thing here, but you've seen our stuff in the jar. So I got to get a little jar to put this in, and we'll put a nice label on it. Stick it in the fridge. And then it's going to get gifted. So there we are. I think we're going to be done with that. Get the spoon. Let's see. What I find is after it sits in the fridge for a little bit, it tends to thicken up. So we're going to do that. And there's your sauce. Got to taste it first though. Make sure we don't need to make a change. Just get a spoon. Oh. Ooh, that's good. That's even better than the last batch. You can actually taste a little of that sweetness in it too. I'm gonna get Derek a spoon, we're done so he can taste it. So there it is. There's our Sriracha sauce. Not a lot of work, just a little time in between. And would it take us 15 seconds a day to stir it? Take us a few minutes just to blend it up. Put it in a jar. 10 minutes on the stove, a little time in the fridge, and you can have this for yourself. You don't have to pay the exorbitant prices. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this Sriracha sauce in the store, but why not make it yourself? You got the peppers out in the garden, or you can buy the red ones in the store. So give it a shot. You guys have been leaving a lot of nice comments. I appreciate that. Even the ones where you're like adding things on, you're telling us what you think would be better. I love that. Keep it up. Let us know what you're seeing. Make the sauce. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Come back next week and we're going to do something else. Thanks a lot from Eepa's Kitchen.